Greetings, this is Zed. I love sparkling water.
Me too.
What kind of sparkling water? Are they like flavored or regular?
I can go regular, just TV static.
I like regular, but I'm kind of hooked on the flavored ones.
Yeah, those are no-brainer good.
I've got apple flavor here.
Well, I don't know
Ever seen
about
the ones
that
that are
though.
Oh no, it's great. But I've seen some that are like root beer flavored, but they're like still like no sugar. So
No,
it's
you're just
like,
drinking the soda.
It's weird. It's weird.
I like
Anyways.
the hints of berry. Those are good.
Hello,
Wouldn't
Paul.
you guys
Hello,
rather
Dan.
just drink regular water?
Oh, you sound rough.
I do?
Dan,
all right,
live from the hospice.
Yeah, which is my chair that I'm usually in, but yeah, it's kind of in the middle of a sickness. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting over it, I think.
Yeah, it sounds like it's all coming out.
No, let me take a sip. All the bad parts are mostly over. I'm just kind of in the chest congestion, coughing stage right now.
Yeah, because you had a fever and
Yeah.
and like sore muscles and joints.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, okay, so I went to the doctor for a checkup on Wednesday, and there was like some people in the waiting room coughing. I didn't think much of it. And so I go to practice with you guys, we drink a bit, and then the next day, I just feel like absolute dog shit. And I'm thinking, oh, this is just like a hangover. This is kind of this happens sometimes. I feel like shit after you drink. But like it lasted all day and all night, and I'm like, and it didn't even occur to me that that I was getting sick. And like the first thing that I noticed was the kind of chest congestion thing. Like I was having problems kind of breathing really, and yeah, so I had to practice with Unblessing where you showed up, Paul, and I'm telling the guys, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm having like a hard time recovering from this night of drinking, and I'm like, can you give me a chair? I'm like, for some reason my the muscles in my ass are hurting, and like my knees started hurting, so like I'm getting the like body ache from the flu or whatever is basically what was happening. I didn't even realize it. And then I'm like, okay, it's about 10 o'clock. And I was supposed to get up really early to go on a weekend trip towards like Sacramento. And so I was supposed to be with my dad, helping him at the swap meet. So we were going to be set out, and I was going to sleep in the back of the truck with a fucking cot and everything. We're going to be camping out for a few days. So I, on my way home from the rehearsal, I was about to just hit the hay and get up early. And as I'm driving home, like, I start sweating and, like, I start shivering, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I'm just like, oh, fuck. I stopped at the Rite Aid. I'm like, I'm gonna need some fucking, what do you call it? Fucking lozenges, like throat, what do you call those things?
Yeah, cough drops.
Cough drop, Ricola thing. So I'm like, I'm definitely gonna need these. The night goes on, I'm like, no. I'm thinking, I'm like, Dad's not gonna be happy, but I got a fucking, I got the fever. I'm like, I'm going through it. So he gets up. I don't know what time it is when he gets up, and I was like, hey, I'm sick. And then my mom's like, oh, I'm going, aren't I? And so they go. She didn't want to go, but yeah, they went, and I stayed home.
Damn, mom and pop in the cot, huh?
Yeah, well, 2 cots.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just stayed home, and the first 2, let's see, first night and a half were pretty bad. It, like body pain wise, I was like, oh my god. For some reason, my knee was like really fucking killing me.
I was
That's
just
weird.
guessing of how bad it was because I wasn't seeing you in the group chats too
No,
often.
no. I think all of Friday I was sleeping basically.
That's good.
Yeah, and I'm too. I don't know. I've been saying this forever, but having some time alone, time to think. I'm like really over the fucking group chat now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm about to leave. I see one more message from Vince. I'm gone.
No, 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 Frico.
Yeah, yeah. He's like asking me all this dumb shit. He's like, "Have you seen that?" What the fuck did he ask me? I don't know what he said. Like, yeah, that's my answer. No, freako. Freak. You should have seen that freak on Wednesday. He got
Yeah,
really drunk.
you got like you got like sympathy like hangover from what he had.
I had the sympathy hangover.
Yeah, like what he
How do you
should have
mean?
been going through.
Oh well, I just straight up got sick. You
Yeah,
know what happened to what I think it was is like everything that happened on Wednesday's rehearsal. So like drinking, doing vocals, and like everything else. I think that kind of exacerbated what was like already coming. So that like made it come even like faster and worse.
yeah. I
I
was like,
think.
when you left by the end of the night, you were like completely fine.
Yeah.
So I was
No,
like,
it wasn't until I woke up the next morning,
not
like after
even
that.
like you were probably just buzzed and like you weren't even like on Vince level.
No, no, no. I felt fine. I assumed it was a hangover, but I guess it wasn't. But yeah, anyways, Vince, I don't know. I don't even know what the hell he was like. He was like babbling about shit. I'm not even sure what he was like saying. He was just drunk and kind of babbling, and then by the end of the night, I go outside and I look behind my van, and he's laying on the floor in what they call the fetal position.
Yeah, in the
He's on the
gravel.
floor, yeah, in the gravel, like
The
where
fuck?
the people drive. And I'm just shaking my head. I'm thinking like, out of all the things you can do, you can sit in Paul's car, you can sit in my car, you can sit in Raph's car. All the things you can do, you lay on the fucking dirty ground. And that isn't the first time he's done that. He's like, he just lays on the ground. It's like, dude, yeah, we get it. You're drunk, but you're not that drunk. You had like four
Imagine,
beers.
imagine if you didn't see him and you had to back up your van.
Yeah, that's right. Squash the fucker.
Well, the funny thing was
Squash him like the
is
fucking bug he is.
he was throwing up in the bathroom. He gave me a hug. I was like, what? And then he went out, or he was like sitting in the hallway. And then after we were done jamming, he was like in your van. And then he's like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna be sick, dude. And then I was like,
Oh
go to the
god.
bathroom. And then he just goes to the back of the van. I hear the noises going on, but then you take the first peek, and then you're just like shaking your head and like giving the eyes of like, damn, look at this shit, you won't believe it. And then I
Oh, look at
look,
this.
and then he's like, and yeah, like those Dragon Ball Z fucking
Yeah,
pictures
it's
you sent me.
Yamcha dead
Yeah, that was funny.
when the Cyberman explodes.
Yeah, and Josh was saying when they're playing baseball too, they like reenact that scene.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I screenshotted that on YouTube.
Yeah,
I told
but
Josh too. He was like, I was like, I asked Vince, I'm like, did you clean up your barf in the bathroom? He goes, as much as I could. And Josh's like, what does that mean?
Bro,
I'm like, it means he made a mess. I didn't. I saw one droplet of vomit. That's it.
it means he didn't get the corners.
it's like
It
all of
means
the
he needs to straighten up and do what's right and not lay on the floor. I'm not even mad about the vomit thing. The floor thing kind of that's
that.
just a little bit sickening, to be honest.
Uh, I like how talking about him has really rejuvenated you since the start of this episode. It hasn't been that long. Either.
Well, yeah, because it's just so bafflingly stupid. Like I can't believe it.
Let the hate in.
Yeah,
Let
God.
the hate in.
I almost laughed and started doing this fucking Jeff the Drunk cough. You know that stupid cough he does? That's what I sound like.
Oh, but yeah, that was a funny image that's just like burned in my head now.
What, Vince's corpse on the ground?
Yeah,
Corpse on the
Or Vince's
ground.
fucking carcass?
yeah. It was sight to behold. I didn't want to take a picture, but
You
felt too
should have just
bad for
taken a
him.
picture.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, why the fuck not?
You do
Well, I
that,
figured that you would have done it first, and I was like, oh, he didn't pull out his phone. But then I was just kind of in not shock, but like awe of like this is too funny, and then I just didn't get the photo.
It was funny. I think I felt the same thing as you. Is like, I'm like, I'll just let this one slide.
I
Yeah.
mean, you curl up in the dirt behind a van. You kind of get what you deserve.
Not in the
Photo
dirt.
taken.
This isn't the dirt. This is like
Gravel,
yes, it's
asphalt.
gravel,
Is that
asphalt.
better or not than dirt?
It's not. It's worse. It's
It's hard.
yeah. It's hard. There's been like beer spilled all over the place. I'm sure someone else has vomited there at some point. Someone's probably
But it's
peed there.
It's
It's like
it's not
cold.
as
yeah,
it's not
like
as
cigarettes have probably
dirty.
been put out there. Food's probably been there. Bugs, cats, fucking.
Oh right, you
You
guys
know,
have bugs this time of year.
we got everything at that place. That place, we what did the Paul? We call it the little shop of horrors because it's such a fucking. It's such a nightmare to be there. It's like the toilet doesn't work, the fucking, or the toilet works, but it fucking leaks. So there's like water going into the band rooms. Are you kidding me? And there's like
Place.
no room to fucking do anything. There's like no room to walk.
Yeah, we're just like slithering through all the walls of stuff to get into the little room.
I guess besides those two things, it's not. It's a pretty sweet deal. Besides those two things,
Yeah,
This place sounds
it's
terrible.
awesome.
Why do you use it?
No, it's awesome. It
it's
has
just those two things.
it
Really.
has charm.
I mean, that's putting it mild.
I remember before there was a lot less stuff there, and we would like practice outside of the room. There was like so much room, but then we got into the room next to the restroom, and I mean just made that the space because I don't think we had anywhere to like put anything up besides there.
I like it better than anywhere else I practiced actually.
Yeah, it's probably
It's
the
it's
best.
it's got it's a place to be where no
Yeah.
one can bother you.
Yeah, outside, and then
What Julian said, evil Nibba hideout.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, Vince, you were doing okay for a while, but fucking straighten up.
Get your shit together.
He was doing good up until that night. Like all that night he was great. And then that plus all this horseshit I'm seeing in the chat again.
Yeah, he was what's it called? Jamming to the jam, and dancing, and
Jamming to the jam.
and
Yeah,
then just
being a joking meister or something. I don't.
Good jokey joke meister.
Yeah, there you go.
but apparently during our set, he drank 2 Swamis, so it's like within like 30 minutes of
Okay.
just like drinking both those cans. I'm like, fuck. All right, that's what did it.
And again, I don't know what this is. Is this a fucking curse or what? That each time we have a show, that you say, "Hey, we have a show," then I'm sick. This is the second time this has happened in a month.
Yeah, that was
It's not
such
even last time.
a weird
Stupid. I'm sick of this shit.
a weird occurrence too of like getting that show because I was on I think I went on Facebook and I saw that there was like a metal and hardcore like shows page, and I was just kind of looking through as many flyers as I could because I don't have my login info, and then I saw that one blasphemy made LA, and then I just checked if they had Instagram, and I messaged them about getting a show. They're like, oh, okay, we'll get back to you, and then I guess that same show, the promoter was trying to book Julian's other band, and at the time I didn't even realize that it was the same person who was hitting and we were both hitting up or talking to, and then he's like, no, but we have this other band, Galicia, that could do it, And then the promoter was like, "Oh, okay. I was just talking to your friend Paul there, and it's like your guys' shit is dope, and we got a spot open for Saturday, so we're gonna play with some. I don't know. It's like a
He was
gore grind band, and then
yes, gore grind bands,
power
speed
and heavy metal bands.
Yeah,
So it's an
something
odd
else.
setup,
Oh,
but it's
some
gonna be
like
cool.
some like sludgy heavy metal band, something like High on Fire. I heard that Chameleon band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's kind of a little there's everything but black metal, but I think we kind of filled that void. So there you go.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool bill. All different genres. So at
Yeah,
least they're metal this
perfect.
time.
Yeah, this is what I imagined. Like this is kind of a perfect show that I imagined we would do, like local bands, bunch of different stuff, and shit that mostly nobody's heard about. So
Yeah,
it's like I kind of like that dynamic of a bunch of all those types of bands.
we got
When is this?
This is this Saturday.
the first.
Oh, the one that yeah, the one I shared earlier.
Doing pretty good. We
The
got
Yeah,
a what's it
birthday
called?
bash.
A show a month so far this year.
yeah. Be
You
there and
guys,
drink the elixir.
Yeah, I
hey,
liked your caption.
why is this Cassie's birthday bash? That's my birthday.
Your birthday is this Saturday?
It's on February 1st, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
we'll shout you out.
No, just
Yeah,
change,
yeah, I
change
guess
the,
we will.
This goes out
just
to the
change
to
the name
Can-
to Fred's birthday bash and you're good.
this goes out to the Canadian Legion. Fred,
Fred Hope and Dungeon Circle.
Haran.
Yeah. Yeah,
During that,
there you go.
I was gonna say during that episode, I was like, I kept pronouncing his name like a bunch of different ways, but then
Haran.
I see the Metal Archives and his name in writing. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. I could have just kept saying it like that.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't say Arwen, you should be fine.
Irwin.
we said Ron,
Ron.
Yeah, Captain Ron.
Aaron. I almost said Iran once,
I ran.
but
That guy's got a lot of internet aliases.
I probably hit one of them on accident.
Yeah.
I know when I first, like a couple of years ago, when I first started chatting with him, he changed his name on Instagram a few times. Every so often he'd start chatting. I'm like, the fuck is this? Then I go to his page and realize who it is. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's always something. Yes, okay, so during the set, shout out to the Canadian Legions. And then after the first song, you gotta remind me. I want to ask the crowd how the sound levels are after the first song, so we actually get a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder who will go because I think everyone went just because it was the first show last time.
Yeah, I'm not even going to invite anybody. I don't give a shit. I don't want my friends to go. I don't care. They see the fucking flyer. They can go. I think last time Nathan's like, he's like, hey, parking expensive. It's like, well then, I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want.
Parking was like awesome.
Parking was free. Parking was free. Or no, I think he said Uber was expensive. Okay,
Oh.
then stay home. I don't care. Do what you want. Do what you want. I don't give a shit. Go,
I
don't
can't
go.
tell from the flyer. Are you guys opening or are you guys?
Yeah, we're opening.
Oh, we're opening. It's at 9, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh damn! Openers at 9 with 5 bands.
Yeah, that's kind of that doesn't really make
Fuck
sense,
that.
does it? It's like
It-
when the fuck's the show gonna end?
It
Like
makes
fucking
sense
2?
if you want me to go to bed after 2 bands.
Yeah, it doesn't quite.
yeah. Usually it
I
starts
was- I
around
don't-
like 8, and you get like 4
Are
bands
you
by
sure
10.
we're gonna be the fucking last band?
No,
Because the
no.
other bands weren't even announced. I mean, the first band.
Yeah, we are.
We
They
are.
just went. They just did the last flyer. I put in the chat.
When? Recently?
Yeah, today.
That's the one I re-uploaded, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't say that we're opening.
Well, that's what the promoter told me.
He said we're opening.
Apparently it's a she, another she.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cassie.
no, Diana.
Diana. Okay.
But yeah, she said that we're opening. I was like, oh, she asked, she's like, oh, what spot do you guys want? I was like, second or third, but we're not too picky. And then she gave us the opening slot. I guess everyone else was picky.
Oh well, you shouldn't have said.
what's it called? Saying it in the
Talking?
chat. In the chat, I was
You
like,
were what?
oh, I was rehearsing the replies in the chat. I was like, oh,
Mm.
when should I say it? And then Julian's like, oh, just say you're not too picky. I said, okay.
I mean, at least you can play and then just go to bed.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and it's
Because
gonna
my age,
be.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have to bring too much too. Just the heads, guitars, cables, and had to bring some cymbals and a
Yeah.
throne.
Well, yeah, knowing me, which is what happened last time too, I was still sick the night of the show. So if that's the case, then I might just play and get the fuck out.
Yeah,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just do that. I don't want to make it a thing. Last time, yeah, first show, it's a thing. Bring the homies.
and it was only 3 bands.
Yeah. Yeah, this time it's we're opening, so let's just open and then have our
Yeah,
fun and have our time and make crazy eyes at the crowd and then get the fuck out.
yeah. We don't even have much merch to sell anyway. If
I
anyone
have
would
some
buy.
CDs. Yeah, we don't have fucking t-shirts or anything.
Yeah, so
Yeah, maybe by next show, we can ask we can get everybody to chip in again for shit.
yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
usually bring like just you're playing with, or do you bring all the BBR stuff?
I don't think we've done anything yet. Like brought anything,
Yeah,
but
the only thing that we did where we had merch was in Florida, and we brought everything that we had, like all BBR merch,
yeah, it was like
and
shirts and CDs and
yeah, we had shirts and CDs and
stickers, cassette.
everything was. We had a bunch of stuff, and everything was gone. I have stickers to like give out
Yeah,
if anybody like wants to fucking talk to us after the show or
on the
whatever.
way out.
Yeah, like on the way out. That's exactly it. I'm probably not gonna stick around, you know.
No, yeah, you gotta.
For whatever reason, I'm kind of like traumatized with I'm with drinking, so I'm kind of trying to cut down a little bit. So,
That's good.
and especially since I'm fucking still sick, so
We'll
I
play
really
tight.
don't plan on. I don't plan on partying or like getting wild. I want to play. I'll play good, and then I'll see you guys in like a week or two. That's how it's gonna go, I think.
Yeah,
It's time to make some changes around here. I like how this episode is really just us. This is almost like you're not supposed to hear this. This is almost like
Breaking news.
taking notes and making plans. We're just making plans basically, but that's okay. Maybe some freak will want to hear this. It's like Vince bouncing around. No, Vince fucking carcass on the ground listening to this.
on a loop. Yeah,
Yeah. On a loop.
Here, here's the question: lying down on the ground in the fetal position, was he crying?
tears were coming from his mouth. He was throwing up, trying to.
Yeah, he was fucking
Tears were
drooling.
coming from his mouth.
Tears were coming from his mouth, aka drooling. Yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird. It's weirder with seeing it.
Yeah.
Here, I have this I'm looking at here. It's a picture that Drew sent to the group chat. It's Anthony and Christian laying next to each other in bed.
Oh yeah.
And
Ooh.
yeah, I said, "Who's that lady?" And he goes, "That would be Christian." Like, oh, he looks like a hefty broad in this picture. He does, because his shirt's all tight and it's like kind of like going up like a belly shirt. Oh God, almost got me going too.
Hefty broad.
Oh God.
Yeah, his hand's gonna be sore in the morning. You see the position it's in. It's like bending backwards toward his elbow.
Here, I'll send this. I'll send this to you, Fred. You can
Oh,
you can
God.
really see this. It does look like a fucking hefty broad. Let's see. Where did I have that on the Instagram thing? Let's see. Photo room. There it is. Here, check this out, Fred. Doesn't Christian look like a fat girl? I thought it was a chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a fucking fat lady.
He has
Yeah, I could see that.
the birthing
Looks,
hips right there.
yeah, he looks like a pregnant woman.
Wait, the guy on what to the like right of the jeans?
What's on the right of the jeans?
Yeah,
You mean that little brown thing?
yeah. It looks like
You know
a
what's
bag
weird?
of.
I don't know
It looks like a
what that
bag
is.
of rocks or something.
It does. It looks like organic matter. It looks like a
It
dog's
does,
paw.
Yeah, it does look like a
or like,
dog's.
It looks
or
like AI.
guts.
It looks like an AI alien. The fuck is that? This is on the thumbnail. This horrifying picture.
I think it should be, yeah.
Oh my god.
And then the
Would they hate
fucking
that?
and then the Yamcha. Uh,
Oh
fucking-
yeah, Yamcha. Yamcha's going on this one. Yamcha and these two fucks.
There you go.
But I see what you mean. There's definitely some questionable gender going on there.
Yeah, I straight up didn't know that was Christian. I'm like, who's that? I said, who's that lady?
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh my god.
Did you eat,
Well, that's
What's that?
It's quite the week you guys had.
Oh, I know. About to cough here. Ooh, I gotta save me with some water. Here,
Yeah,
you guys go ahead. I got a cough.
But Fred, how was your week over in what was it called? Boxing Land.
Canada.
You
It
gotta,
was.
you gotta explain
fairly-
that too after.
It was fairly uneventful. Only real, like even music, not much happened to add to the collection.
What?
Yeah, no, it's been. I'm still waiting for that Moonblood LP. That's just taking its sweet fucking time. Got that EP from Trails of Anguish, Relentless Abhorrence of Misery's Grievance. That's an interesting EP, man. It doesn't. It's fairly unassuming when you listen to it, but it's like melodic black metal crashing into a bit of like bestial war metal not themes, but like sounds here and there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird mix, but it's a really good fucking EP.
Yeah, I think that's just Canadian blood in them.
Yeah, it's hard for us to
Still
shake
never,
that.
I fucking put that CD in my car, but I never got around to actually putting it in the CD player.
The hardest part.
Yeah, I was still listening to that fucking that Black Twilight compilation, and then I never got around to it. Well, it's still in there. I'll fucking get to it.
Yeah, I got that reissue last week, and then the what's it
The
called?
Scathed Gaping Misery, the reissue.
Mm-hmm. And then I got my Reek CD finally,
Reek?
all the way from Reek of the Unzen Gas Fume.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, all the way from Beijing. And
Yo!
and then what else I get? I think that's it.
Oh, I
I
got you
got
guys.
the,
I got them their T-shirts.
Oh
Their
yeah,
T-shirts
that was
came in from Death Room.
yeah. I'm
I
wearing
think I
the
mentioned last week.
wearing the Cataclysm one right now.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, Paul got two because I just kind of looked through
I'm his
their.
favorite.
No. Well, actually, yeah, but well, of course. I mean, what else? No, but I was just looking through their whole catalog, and I was like, what can I just buy here for everybody, and like, what would anybody like? I saw two that I know Paul likes for sure. Night and Division and Cataclysm, the logo shirt. So I'm like, all right, he's getting those. And then Wrath, no fucking clue. Falconback. And then he ends up messaging me, Falconback rules. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, they kind of do rule. I like
Yeah,
They're
Falconback
they're
pretty
too.
awesome.
awesome.
I feel like they're not talked about too much anymore these days, but yeah, they were one of my favorites back in high school. So yeah.
And
And
Julian
then what
shirt.
Julian, I got him a Der Stürmer shirt, and he liked that. It made him chuckle and chortle.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just gonna go on 88.com and just get you all these NS band shirts.
Nah, that was
Hey,
on Death Room.
what the fuck is Falkenbach doing? They haven't released an album in like 10 years.
Is that the last one they released? When did they release Asa?
2013.
Really, does not
Yeah.
feel like that long ago. That I remember when that came out. I was like, oh hell yeah, new. That was a good one. I liked Asa.
Yeah, it was.
That's so crazy that it's 10 years ago. God, I remember when that fucking came out.
He's probably on a hike or something.
Some shit like that. Ravens.
Long ass hike. But like, fucking.
Sippity
I
doo
really
dah.
like the second album from them. I'm not gonna try pronouncing it. The one from '98.
I just see, okay.
They had a really crazy song on their first album that was like kind of unlike anything they'd ever done before. It was called something really weird. It was called like Dog or something.
Yeah, I'd really like to hear
Funk on
the stuff they did like way back when, because like apparently they're around in like '89. Released a demo.
Yeah, well, I wonder what the fuck that is. I don't know that I've ever heard their demo stuff.
Nah, I've
Is
only
the-
listened to
well,
their
the-
albums.
The first album is '96. Oh yeah, it's track
Yeah,
one.
I mean,
Gold Galag.
some of their demo stuff has like been not released, but like uploaded and you can hear it. But like the ones from like '89 to like let's see, '89, 1990, and 1991. I don't think those are anywhere you can hear. Like they're, I know they were like super limited, but like
Yeah, I'm curious to what the fuck Falconback could have possibly sounded like in 1989.
right.
Yeah, like what
And,
is
like,
that?
based on the,
what is that even? I imagine it's like some kind of thrash or something.
I don't know, but even like based on the song titles and the name of the album, they were already in the Viking themes, right? So
Hmm. Asaland. Weird. Yeah, I wonder what the deal with that is. Yeah, 9 copies.
oh look, limited. Yeah, 9 copies. The name Falkenbach didn't exist yet at this point. No cover, just a handwritten note.
And no information on what it sounds like. Okay.
Shannon, I know you got it, so just upload it, please.
It reminds me of the Israeli band Salem. Like they have demos going back to like the mid '80s, and I don't know if you can hear those anywhere. I haven't looked in a while, so I don't know if anything's changed. But last time I looked to find those early demos, I couldn't find shit.
9 copies
Mm-hmm.
of that demo.
Oh, only decent movie that I got to watch this weekend was The Last Boy Scout with Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. Kind of an action comedy, self-referential kind of thing. It's pretty funny.
Huh.
It's like super cheesy, but in a way that they get it. Like at the end of the movie, he's like, "Oh, what's it take to be a private dick?" He goes, "You gotta have it's the '90s. You gotta have a cool. Gotta have a cool line. Say you hit a guy with a surfboard. You say surfs up." That was a cool movie.
The best private dick
Fuck is
there ever was.
picture he sent
that
me
was a
still.
long time ago.
Picture he sent me still on my phone screen.
Oh, nice.
Screensaver.
Yeah, new background.
You know, I hate to bring up Vince again, but I'm going to because I remembered something. The other night I had a dream. I did. Oh my God, we've never done this. This is just taking up. This is like filling the space here. Dream talk. But this is a suggest. This is also a suggestion
You,
for Vince to do something.
you got good dreams though.
Yeah, I had a dream. We were like, we were at Vince's parents owned a bed and breakfast, like up in the hills or something, and it was like a two-story house, and we were all there, and we had this like we built this fucking makeshift ramp thing that went around the house and like into the neighbor's yard for some reason, and we had this like I guess it was just a regular bicycle, but it was me, Vince, and Janine and Destiny, and we're all on this bicycle, and we're going down this fucking ramp, and we just crash into the neighbor's fence, and then Vince's parents were really mad that we fucking wrecked the neighbor's fence. So my
Did you go feeble
recommendation
over it?
is, Vince, Vince, convince your parents to buy a fucking bed and breakfast and go on a bike or do something.
Go on a bike.
Yeah, that's my suggestion. That do something, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Do something.
Get hurt, Vince.
Yeah, get hurt. Yeah,
Get
yeah,
hurt.
get hurt, dog.
Get wrecked.
Scared.
Get wrecked, chump.
Ugh.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
it for
healthy
that.
view.
I like how we've all. This is the fuck Vince episode. No, no, no. We love you, Vince. We're just busting your balls because you won't leave me alone in the group chat, and it
Getting
makes me
pretty
shake my
fucking
head.
annoying.
It is annoying. It is annoying, and this is my retaliation
Well,
because
Vince,
I have a
no.
I have a platform, and so I can retaliate. It's funny. You're like Paul. You're like, oh, I won't take this picture of Vince yet. We share everything right now, right here, exactly what happened in an even funnier context.
Yeah, and now everyone just
Vince, I
has to
have no strong
visualize
feeling
it.
towards you either way.
Yeah, you have to visualize. Visualize.
But we wanted to keep this one short anyway, so should we get into
Yes.
our Freddy's pick?
It is my pick this week. Is that exciting?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you guys need a break or are we good?
I'm kind of
I
good.
think. Yeah, I think I'm good. We can always break if we need to later.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, my pick this week
Is
is
Diasadio from Chile.
no. It's Sadism from Chile,
Ah.
and their first album from 1992, Tribulated Bells.
Kind of like
Ah.
tubular bells.
Not Tubular Bells.
Yeah.
And the
I'm wondering
album
if-
cover kind of looks like the Funebre album cover.
Yeah, except it has bells on it.
Yeah, it's a little bright. It's like on the bright side of the moon.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Fred, did you ever hear the song Moonlight Shadow from Mike Oldfield?
If I have, it doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, the send it to you. It's a
Oh.
really good song.
Doesn't ring your, was it titular bell?
Bell. Doesn't leave you.
I mean, if I heard it, maybe I recognize it, but I mean, that's all I got.
Well, the word bells just reminded me of Mike Oldfield because, you know, tubular bells. Ringing bells. Ring-a-ling.
Ring my bell.
That's what I was going for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it worked. It worked.
Mm.
But tell us about this, Red.
Red?
You know, it's just an album that I really enjoy when it comes to death metal, especially from this era. It's like got a particularly heavy, brutal sound to it. And you know, being from Chile and just South America in general, it still has like a good dose of thrash in it, but they kind of like just shove it into the like extremely aggressive side of things. So I mean, you know, from there you've got like Atomic Aggressor and what like Totten Corpse that kind of had the same thing going, but not as early. I mean, Totten Corpse and they were around for a while, but they didn't get albums out particularly quickly. Chile had some awesome bands, but Sadism dropping an album in 1992 is pretty awesome. I think Torture had an album out around that time, but they were a bit thrashier. But no, like this is just the kind of sound that I like for death metal. Just
The
deep.
pure stuff.
Yeah, it's really pure. And I'll be the first to say from a songwriting approach, from an execution approach, there's nothing particularly unique about this. Uh,
Right.
Aside from the fact that it starts with an intro and then you have an instrumental 6 minute metal track before you actually get to a fucking song with lyrics.
Yeah,
Um,
solid track too.
yeah, it's a really good track. But I remember that was like threw me off. Like it starts playing, I'm like, yeah, this is like solid, and there's no vocals. I'm like, is the whole album like this, or like what's going on here? But no, they just decided to have the first track be completely instrumental, which is confusing but fine. Um, but man, when the vocals do kick in, uh, they are deep and they are vicious. Uh, just the kind of vocals I like. So yeah, I don't know. Like this is an album that I don't have a ton to say about it in terms of what's special about it because there really isn't a ton other than just its execution. The production, the playing, the songwriting just works well for what I like to hear in death metal. Uh, when I make top 10 lists of death metal albums, I usually ponder putting this one in there. Whether it makes it or not depends on how I feel that day, but it's usually near the at least top 20 for me. Just pure, unadulterated death metal. Evil, heavy, deep. It's great. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Um, when I heard it, the instrumentals took a while to get through, but then from when the actual like tracks went in, uh, it really flew by. And then after I heard, I think it was the third or fourth song, just the way that the like vocal arrangements are, just got a deicide stuck in my head, and it just reminds me of the first album, self-titled, of their shit, but played in a. It's like simultaneously sloppy and technical at the same
Yeah.
time, and another band that comes to mind is like Exposer from Brazil, but they're a little bit more tight. But they have like these like kind of swarm of bees riffs that this band it like has all over.
Hmm.
Another thing is like just a South American way to play um, like Namacon with like how many riff variations each song has, and it wasn't particularly like over the top aggressive, but it still had like that like thrash core to it, which was nice to hear. And I think it's pretty solid. Not my favorite thing in the world. I think Black Shepherd definitely kicks these guys' butts.
Mm.
That's a totally different
But still, out of like
approach, though.
everything kind of thrashy that you picked, I
Mm.
think I think that one takes the cake
Well, I
over
didn't think
this.
this one was too thrashy overall. Like It still has some thrash elements, but I wouldn't call it death thrash or anything. I think it's pretty.
First like quarter of the album is thrashy. The rest is more sort of straightforward death metal, I think.
Cause I think it's like just like tech tech death thrash.
That's what I felt about the like I said about the first quarter of the album. I think it kind of changes, it shifts after that a little bit, not totally.
Hmm.
Does the instrumental track affect that at all? Because I find that when there aren't those deep death metal vocals in there, it's kind of easier to think of it as thrashy because you wouldn't necessarily associate those deep vocals with thrash, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely on the instrumental it has that sound a lot more apparent because all you're hearing is just like the riffing and stuff. But then they go into these more like a Hoffman brother esque solo too, where it's like almost like classical in a way. It's weird.
I thought of the Deicide comparison, but I wasn't sure if this was quite feral enough compared to early Deicide. But I can kind of see it here and there.
I think it's not like it's a lot less tight and but like like I said earlier, simultaneously like technical. It's like they're just doing all these like riff changes and kind of stop starty things, but done in like a really loose way, but in a way that's like still coherent. I think it's just a South American style.
Yeah, the way that South Americans did black and death metal in the 80s and early 90s, it's unique to them. And it's just like, this will sound terrible, but passion over execution. It's like they're so enthusiastic about it that it's like all all attempts to perform with some sort of accuracy kind of just go out the window and just go balls to the wall with it. Like Death Yell did it, and Sepultura did it, and I find that these guys kind of go in that direction too. Although it's like you said, it's kind of technical and sloppy at the same time. It's a really weird juxtaposition.
Yeah, it's like and it doesn't like even out either. It's not
No.
it's not like one doesn't outweigh the other. It's like just in the middle the whole time between
Uh,
those two things. It's like they're trying to play like Deicide S shit, but with the more I guess less like Tampa song structures, where those are like kind of like pop songs, where this is like more in like a linear death metal fashion.
mm,
But what'd you think, Dan?
yeah.
Um, I think my initial thought about this stuff was kind of what you were thinking, Paul, is like technical death thrash, s- early '90s, late '80s. Um, I think the first comparison that I thought of was like a sloppier version of the debut Pestilence album, whatever that's called, Malice Malum or some shit like that.
Malleus Maleficarum.
Yeah, that shit. It kind of reminded me of that. But I
Interesting.
feel like that is a bit more memorable. Like I think that's I like this album and I think it's pretty well executed. But I feel the same way about not this as Paul does, where he said like, or I think you said the same thing too, Fred, where this is it's pure, it's basically like a pretty pure death metal thing. Um, even with the thrash stuff, but I mean that kind of that's kind of like with the time too, which is fine. Um, but yeah, there's not anything really super unique about this record. It is pretty well executed, and maybe it is kind of unique. I mean, it's what it's doing that's a little bit interesting. is sort of mixing the which is weird because it's like more death metal. I think it's like mixing the death thrash with like normal death metal of the time, like DSI and like Cannibal Corpse and
Mm.
all the big names. I think in that sense, like it doesn't totally remind me of any band in particular, but I was thinking of Sickening Gore, who are kind of doing the same thing, except they don't really
Oh,
have as thrashy of an influence.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what, like Sickening Gore is kind of just like another death metal band that's doing a death metal thing, but in like a slightly different way. They're doing like the German version of it. Like they're taking more like death and more goth influence, while these guys are kind of going for the possibly like Malevolent Creation and Morbid Angel sort of, and even Deicide is the more technical side of things.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
even
I can
like
see that.
Incubator, who are I think Incubator were doing maybe more the European side of things too. You know, solid band, but not just not anything super influential or super like engaging or interesting. Solid,
Hmm.
but not great. Or even take like Excruciating Pain for that matter. They're just another death metal band I remembered that I don't think a lot of people gave a shit about because they weren't like anything incredible, but they were there and they're solid and they're cool. And I basically feel the same way about this thing. It's got some interesting things to it. Um, I do like that it has. I do like how technical and kind of messy it is. You know, it does sort of lack direction and it sort of lacks its own identity in a certain way, but at the same time, maybe that lack of identity um, is where it kind of like takes its strength from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean that kind of follows with what I said. I don't, like I said, I don't think there's anything special per se about this album, other than the fact that just the production and the way it's played just tickles me the right way when it comes to old school death metal.
Yeah.
It's like almost like a definition of meat and potatoes. Like it is the most straightforward kind of death metal you can possibly imagine. Just well played, well executed. Memorable, I guess it depends. Like this is, like I said, this is what I look for in death metal, this particular sound, and they kind of nail it for me. So it does stand out for me, but I also recognize that for most people, I don't think it necessarily would. So I don't know.
I think if you're basically looking for like wild, aggressive stuff with like basically lacking any kind of I don't want to say lacking atmosphere because it does definitely have something going on there, but not in not really in a way that like takes away from the technicality, if that makes sense. It's sort of hard to describe, but I do like I really actually do like the sort of directionlessness or like lack of focus, even though you know the songwriting is there and like these guys can play and the riffs are all pretty good, but yeah, I just I'm losing my train of thought here. What the fuck was I even saying?
Well, maybe that's a good segue to actually listen to one of these tracks.
Yeah,
uh,
we'll figure it out.
we'll get there, all of us together.
Hmm.
So,
My brain's
Uh,
frying.
which tracks did you guys pick?
I picked one of the
I
later ones.
I'm good with 3 or 4.
I had picked "Burning Inside,"
Burning
not the Ministry
inside.
song.
I'll go with the Days of Tribulation then. It's the third track.
Let me get.
Also, I'll say, feels good to be back in control.
Yeah, you're in control. You're in control.
All right.
Paul was like hyperventilating the whole time.
Mm.
It's like Dan saved the video.
Mm.
All right. We're gonna listen to the third track, Days of Tribulations, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back from. Well, I guess it's kind of out of order for me and you guys. Days of Tribulation, track 3 or 5?
It's track
4.
I think it's 3 or 4, depending on if the intro is split up with the first track.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, on the sadism topic, there's like an extra track for some reason.
Okay.
yeah, I don't even know if that's related to.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It just shows the fucking iTunes symbol. I have no idea what that is.
Mine shows like a piano with like a pumpkin on it.
Oh, really?
I don't know what. It's an hour long too, so I don't think it has anything to do with sadism.
Oh,
I
the
don't know
one,
what's
the
in
one
there.
I'm looking at is 20 minutes long.
The hell?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Well, we all listened to the same track, so we're good.
Yeah. I
think we
love.
We
Yeah.
didn't?
Well, I mean, it ended at the same time for all of us, so it must have been
Yeah.
the. I love how messy those transitions are. It just gives it this like little extra chaotic edge to it. And man, those chugging riffs, especially at the beginning and when they closed it out, are on point.
Yeah. I liked there was one transition where they just played like a bar of like a blast for like just a couple seconds, and then they went
Yeah.
into the next riff.
Just-
No, that's cool. And then you're like, oh yeah, that got messy when they're like throwing in the lead guitar over the riff and shit.
But that's why it's interesting.
Yeah. Now this is like Dan said, it's like kind of more of the most settled down tracks out of the album. The rest are kind of a little bit have more energy to them.
This one's still pretty wild though. At some point.
Yeah, like
But
it's like mid pace, but they have like a million directions that they're going in with just like one riff.
Well, they had one riff that was like 4 parts, and each part had a different drum beat, which was cool. I
Yeah.
like that. I like how it kind of know the drummer knows where to change, and like it's slightly off time, but not really.
Yeah,
You know, it
I
works.
don't think it's Brazilian sloppy, but it's
No.
they're
But
definitely
it's off time enough to make it sound particularly frantic at times.
yeah. I think it.
Well,
Yeah.
also,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Fredward.
No, I was just gonna say it.
Go ahead, Red.
It just adds like a little moment of confusion during those transitions, where it's just kind of like, for a split second, you're like, I don't know what's going on, and then it does finish the transition. You're like, oh, okay, I see what they did there.
I don't know
And
what's
it-
going on.
It's like a
No.
gymnastics doing like a bunch of, or gymnasts doing a bunch of flips in the air, and you're like, what are they doing? And then they just stick the landing
Yeah.
after.
Ta-da! Was I talking to you guys about the? Or no, I was talking to Christian's roommate about this. You remember George Carlin, right, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like him, Fred?
Who?
George Carlin, the comedian, that old guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was saying like nowadays I really don't like his later stuff like about his like religion and politics, philosophical bullshit. I like his older shit. That where he was talking about like the food in the fridge, and he's like, "You ever heard of a food that's too funny to eat?" He goes, "Garbanzo beans." He's like, "It sounds like a circus act, ladies and gentlemen. They're garbanzo."
I don't know. I like some of his later stuff. Like, do you ever see the one about guys named Todd?
No,
Oh my god.
I'm
He just,
sure
like,
I have.
He just starts like just absolutely wailing on weak sounding men's names.
Oh yeah, he's like Todd and Tucker and
Fred.
Yes.
And
Tanner. Now Fred's obviously a man. We all have like men's names. I don't know if you noticed that.
yes, we do.
It's
Yeah.
all very Yes, we do. Yes. Now I'm right here, honey.
George Carlin would approve of our names.
Paul Dan Fred. It's not like where I'm Ahmed. He's whatever. I don't know. Ahmed. Yeah.
Felipe.
Yeah. We have Ahmed, Felipe, and
Kyle.
Bryce.
Hudson. I have a cousin named. I have three cousins. Their names are all retarded. Hudson and Jackson. It's like, but it's like Jackson with an X. It's like, dude.
Oh no! When you said Jackson, I'm like, that's not so bad. But then you said it's with an X. I'm like, who does that?
I
Who
don't
does
know.
that to their kid?
Chump parents.
Like, if you're gonna name your dog Jackson and you put an X, I don't give a shit. But a human? Why would you do that to a human child?
Yeah, even Dean has a mean man name.
A mean because he's a mean man.
True.
You saw him the other day.
Obini and Dean.
Huh? Oh, wait, he's just sitting there?
Yeah, and then your dad calls him and he just like runs and jumps in the car.
What kind of
Yeah,
dog
he
is
knows
he
what
again?
to do. Huh?
What kind of dog is he again?
He's like a Chihuahua deer mix.
Chihuahua deer mix?
Looks like a bit like a deer.
He does. He looks like a fox, kind of.
Yeah.
He's a Chihuahua mixed with a Papillon, whatever a Papillon is.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You could call him a Chillon.
yeah. Chion.
You know what a Chillon is?
Why not a Papi Wawa?
Fred,
Papi
Fred,
Wawa.
Fred, that's a Spanish word. You know Chillon?
No, I don't.
Just said a slur, son.
Oh.
You know what that means, Paul?
No.
You ever heard Chillon?
Mm-mm.
You've never heard that before?
No.
Oh, it means crybaby. That's I used to call my uncle. Chillon!
Gary?
Right? Yeah. Crybaby.
A Gare Bear?
Gare Bear.
Julian's dad's name's Gary, and I guess there's like him and Julian were like making fun of each other's names, like saying shit, and then I guess he thought of one later, and he like told his mom, he's like, oh, I should call him Gary or Fairy Gary, and then his mom was like, ooh, no, do not do that, actually. I guess he had people saying that to him.
Like
Back in the day.
It's like
Some,
Windy City Heat. It's like some scary fairy. Scary fairy? Is that what you called me?
This scary fairy.
It's Perry. Perry's the kind of George probably would have laid in on that one.
Perry? Nah, Perry's a dude name.
I don't know.
Perry's like a dude from well, exactly from it's like an Italian guy. It's Perry's name is perfect for Perry. Hey Perry. Kind of works.
Sounds like a
No,
nickname
like-
that you would get.
Perry? Perry the platypus.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. When we listen to George Carlin talk about names, it sounds like very clearly names that you would expect to hear in like a 1930s gang.
I feel like Perry is one of those names. Like Perry sounds like a mobster.
I don't think
Hey.
it is.
Perry, take care of him.
Yeah, I think it is. Definitely, man.
I think Perry's the guy who's in the library afraid of making too much noise.
No, that would be like
Vince.
like Alfred. Alfred's in the library learning books and things. Yeah, it would be like Alfred, or it would be like
Yeah, it's just like
let me
2 letters added to my name, right?
like Irwin might be another one.
Wonder what the Sadism guys' names are. Waru and Tito. I don't know.
Ichabod.
Let's see.
Ichabod. Ichabod Crane.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one.
I can't think of anyone else named Ichabod.
Let's see. These guys' names: Juan, Ricardo, Gabriel, and Francisco. Oh, there you go. Pablo and Raul. Those are the guys that played on this one.
Let's see. I looked it up on Reddit for classic nerd names. Here we go. Dexter.
It's like Fred.
Oh yeah, well I mean Poindexter. What
like
else can you?
Dexter, Spencer, Edmund, Helix. Never heard of that one.
It's like
Clifford,
Helix.
Fred, Dan, Paul on the list.
Jeffrey, Ezekiel, Albert. Yeah, Albert is a definite fucking nerd's name.
Well, I mean,
Norbit? Are you kidding me? That's from
Norbert.
these are not good. Yeah, Norbit. Oh, right in the bro hole. There you go. Stupid. I've never even seen that movie. I've seen that stupid scene though. No, these are like hillbilly names. Elbert,
Albert,
Elmer. I knew a kid named Elmer, Mexican nerd.
Elmer Fudd.
Glue.
Gilbert. I knew a kid named Gilbert, but he was a fucking asshole. Well, he was my friend, but he was an asshole.
Here's another Reddit post. Nerd names with the royal twist. So it's English names. So there's Archbold.
I like that
Archibald.
one.
Wow.
I like Archibald. That's not a nerd name. That's just a dude's name.
Arthur.
I disagree. Arthur's a good name. There was a movie, Arthur.
Charles.
Charles is a normal name, I'd say.
Harold.
Harold. That just sounds like yeah. These aren't nerd names. These are just British guys' names.
Yeah. August.
Fitzwilliam.
I like Archibald. That's my favorite so far.
Leopold.
Leopold. Oh, it's okay.
Leopold.
Yeah, that exhausts the men's list. Oh, how can I forget? Frederick is on here.
Frederick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you hardly ever
Well-
hear the name Frederick. Like
Oh, I mean,
Fred,
that's my
fine,
name.
but no. But your name is your full name is Frederick.
Yes.
Are all Freds Frederick?
I would hope so. 'Cause if you're stuck
what I
as
mean?
just Fred, there's no variety in there, right?
They're like Freddy. Fred for short.
You know what name sounds really like you're a good guy, but sometimes maybe you'll make a mistake every once in a while? Peter, what are you doing, Peter? Oh, Peter. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I mean, Peter the Apostle made mistakes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kind of comes with the territory.
You know, I knew that kid. I knew Gilbert. I knew him in middle school, and I forget one of the guys told me this story. So Gilbert the Mexican, and like four other guys. They're like walking to school, and they smoke weed. Then they get to school late, and they all go to the office. And on their way to the office, one guy says, "Hey, don't say anything. I'll do all the talking." And so the vice principal asks him, "Why are you boys late?" And Gilbert immediately opens his mouth. He goes, "We got lost."
Took the scenic route.
Yeah.
Stupid.
We got lost, mister.
Got lost, hey, mister. God, there's nothing worse than hearing that. Hey, mister, shut the fuck up. Dude, there was this chick named Susie. I went to middle school with her, but she ended up going to high school with us. And she was in Trevor's class with Mr. Hohodle. Whoops, I said his name.
Whoa,
Whatever.
Mr. What?
Hohodle. That was his name.
Okay, how could he not be a nerd?
Oh, he was a fucking nerd. He rode his bike
Yeah.
to school and everything.
Yeah.
He was like an old man. He was like
There
a
it is.
Helmet and all.
helmet and everything.
Oh, you got to be safe.
He was probably like, when we were there, he was probably like in his late 40s, I assume. But anyways, this chick, we're reading, God, I forget which book it was. I think it might have been Flowers for Algernon or something.
Oh God, I remember that.
She's like, can I
That
play
is
the
that the
retard
one
for?
where, is that the one? Is that the one where like they wear like helmets to take in like information or something?
Oh man, it's been a long ass.
I believe it's that one. They like put on helmets to get their like daily dose of information that they need, like learning, whatever. And well, Trevor told me this. He said that in the middle of the story, Susie like raised her hand and she goes, "We're born with those."
What
The
the
teacher
hell?
everyone just looks around like, what the fuck? Are you stupid? Yeah, you're born with those. Why would you ask that? Oh, Susie.
No stupid questions, but that was pretty dumb.
Yeah. A lot of stupid questions.
There are no stupid questions, only stupid people.
Only stupid Mexicans.
Hey-oh.
Well, shit, Paul knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that he agreed.
We're the Pac-Man on that pie chart. We're the mouse.
Pac-Man on the pie chart.
Oh, before I started us off on this tangent, the last thing I wanted to say about the Sadism album. Well, not just this song in particular, but this album. It does a lot of that B-side downward like triplet thing. It's that kind of shit. I'm surprised how they fucking remember or differentiate these riffs. There were a lot of riffs that are very similar, and differentiating in between those seems like a feat on its own, almost like a Meshuggah type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I would start playing like another riff.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was the last point I wanted to make about that.
I love how we went on like some wild tangent about names, and none of us are active or awake enough to pull us out of it. Just going with
Speaking of names, this
like
band's
the good
name
old
is
days.
Sadism, and should get into another track.
it. Yeah,
I thought you were gonna reintroduce the album as if we didn't do that already.
what was Dan's pick again?
What?
What was your pick?
Oh, Into the Covenant.
Cool. All right.
We're doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
Fred's is after.
Yeah.
I just ripped a fart.
Who did that?
Who did that? God, I'm starting to sweat in this fucking blanket here.
Let's take
Alright.
a 2-minute break so I can get the popcorn I have upstairs.
Yeah. Break time now.
All right.
Break time now.
All right, break.
We'll be right back.
Oh my God, my name.
We're back, and Dan, I heard that.
What did you hear?
Well, you didn't want me to.
What are you talking about? Oh, me coughing?
I was just kidding.
Oh, very good.
But yeah, that was, what, Cannibal Corpse?
Yeah, that was Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, I'm tough on the phone. Have you seen that Bills Above video?
Yeah,
You ever seen that one, Paul?
I don't think so.
It's one of his older skits where he calls some guy on the phone. He goes, "Hey, I'll kick your asshole, buddy," and he goes, "Hey, you're pretty tough on the phone, guy." And then it cuts to Bill walking with his girlfriend there at the market. He goes, "Yeah, I was talking to this guy on the phone. It's like I told him I'd kick his ass or something." And then it shows the guy. He goes, "Hey, that sounds like the guy." He goes, "Boy, I'm gonna mortalize him." And then he runs up to him, and then he puts him in a shop. He puts Bill in a shopping cart and throws him against the wall. And there's a payphone right there, and he has Bill in a headlock, and he goes, "Hey, you're pretty tough on the phone, buddy, huh?" And then he grabs the payphone and he puts it to his ear. He goes, "Yeah, I'm tough on the phone," and he starts beating him up while he's on the phone. He goes, "Yeah," and he drops it by accident for a second. He's like, "Ugh," and he picks it back up, and he's like stomping on his head. He's like, "Yeah, I'm tough on the phone." Yeah, tough on the phone.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's quite good.
It reminds me of this awesome interaction I saw online between, I think it was like a UFC fighter or something. And one guy says, "Stay like something like stay retired. You make a better commentator than fighter." And the fighter responds, "How does that make you feel saying that? Would you say that to my face?" And the guy's like, "No, you kick my ass. That's why I said it on Twitter."
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the entire point. The entire point of the internet is so I can say things irresponsibly without having to worry about consequences.
Yeah, Vince.
Come on, Vince.
Vince isn't saying things. Vince is saying nothing at all times.
Kraken.
Vince.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Into the Covenant? I thought this was maybe like one. Is it one of the most wild songs? I felt like it kind of was. Like structurally, it was pretty weird.
Yeah, it had a lot of weird, not like tempos, but like the weird like
Riffs
slow
are
downs
weird.
in the middle of the riffs.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But yeah, as soon as you said Cannibal Corpse, it was like just so apparent. Not only DSI, but Cannibal Corpse in there. I even yelled.
Yeah. In this song in particular, it's very much like Mangled from the first Cannibal Corpse album.
I heard a bit of Morbid Angel in here too, but like, I don't think it's as frantic as Days of Tribulation, but it's definitely got some of the weirdest riffs, like that slowing down, stumbling riff right near the end.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I like it. Like I don't know if whatever effect it had was intentional on their part or not, but I liked it.
Is that the riff that's like where it's
I
kind
think
of
so, yeah.
lurching its way through?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it starts off really weird too. It starts off with like blasting chords that don't. It kind of changes in a really weird spot.
Yeah, it like hangs at the end, and they only do that twice. And then I'm
Yeah.
expecting them to keep doing that because it's like it was like it's such a unique groove, but then they just like throw it away, and then they
Yeah,
have
then
like five other
they start grooving like
transitions.
yeah, they start grooving in those transition things that like sort of make zero sense and then start actually jamming the riffs.
Yeah, then they
But then
do
there's a
the
bunch of like build-ups and things that like in like the first 30 seconds, it's pretty interesting.
yeah, then they get the little drum fill, and then they go and do it. So
Hmm.
it's cool, and I think that this
Yeah, that first
song,
riff is so weird. It's like ba-dam, 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 ba-dam,
yeah,
ba-dam. But I guess that is kind of like Cannibal Corpse too, except I don't think Cannibal would blast that way.
yeah, just see the hammer blast, but
Hmm.
I like that it was almost like Tomb of the Mutilated section in there where it I don't know if it was like pinches or just like regular like harmonics that were going on during that riff. It was like kind of a lurching one towards the middle of the track that was like really cool. Um, but yeah, I think it's like doing these sort of things. I think even before like Cannibal did it, right? In
Maybe.
the later
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, because like I was hearing riffs from like uh, Staring Through the Eyes of the Dead from like the Bleeding from '94
Yeah, one
in
of these
there.
other songs too, I was hearing like something that sounded like a slower version of the Hammer Smash or like a shortened version of the Hammer Smash Face a breakdown, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah, definitely cool track, and the vocals are kind of just keeping up with everything too.
Yeah, the
Uh,
vocals kind of remind me of like Van Drunen from Asphyx a little bit. They're like more a little more brutal though.
mm.
And all the drumming feels like it's just barely keeping up.
Yeah,
This this is this is
even though the riffs are slow, they're like outpacing themselves, and then they have to like go back and like
Yeah,
this is growing on me a bit, I have to say. It's growing on me now
yeah,
that
it's
I'm
cool.
listening to it.
it's a solid album. Like I said, I really enjoy this one.
Yeah.
It has some quirks to it, but I still think by and large it's a fairly standard death metal album. I just think it's well done.
Yeah, what's wrong with a little D-side and some CC?
A little bit of meat and potatoes there.
Not much. I mean, especially in these early days. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that like came from those bands that was good, late coming later. Maybe in the early days you just get cool stuff.
What, like Cannibal Corpse?
Like no, like this, like
Oh.
taking from Cannibal Corpse, if they were. I mean, where the hell would these guys be coming from? I mean, a lot of this stuff like predates, uh, maybe even fucking Tomb of the Mutilated, right? What year did that come out?
Wasn't that
Yeah,
92?
90. Yeah,
Weird.
Yeah, that trio of albums was 90, 91, 92.
Yeah, I would say this is at least, if nothing else, a super fucking ambitious, ambitious record, man. All the musicianship here is pretty. I am impressed by it. Like, there's not. I don't think there's any slouching here from anybody.
But I don't know if Cannibal Corpse would be a real uh, point of inspiration for these guys specifically because even though this came out in 92, some of these tracks like date back to uh, a year or two before, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
weird.
like, hang on, I have the demo CD here. Yeah, Burning Inside, Trans Canalizated, and what's the other one? From the Perpetual Dark. Those are both from the 91 demo. Or all three of them are from the 91 demo. I don't know if anything from the 89 demo wound up on the album. But, let's see, Faces of Terror, Perdition of Souls. Yeah, Perdition of Souls on here. Psychomental Storm, and Dark Side of Sadism. So yeah, like some of these tracks go back to 89, so I mean,
I know. There's stuff out there that's like this in the sense that it's like super all over the place and changes a lot.
mhm.
But my challenge is I want somebody to tell me more.
and you
Or
know,
what you guys would think, not just you guys, but all the guys listening too. What does what does this make you think of? Like what other are there any other similar albums to this from any bands?
And I'll also say that. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Spaced out.
We're doing well today.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Cause
You guys
Yeah.
ever heard the album "Drinking from the Chalice of Sin" from Infernal,
Mm-mm.
Brazilian death metal band?
No.
don't think so.
Oh, well, kind of sounds like that a bit.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. See, this is what I wanted. Drinking from the chalice of what?
Of sin.
Chalice of
Drowning,
sin, huh?
bro.
Oh, drowning,
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Like I said, we're doing well today.
It's a good looking chalice on the cover, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
I
song
think I remember,
title,
like,
Smash
they
Thy
wrote
Enemy.
that. I think they wrote that band eventually went on to just be using cellos or something, like Apocalyptica or something.
Oh, no.
But I don't,
No,
I
I've never seen this before. You know what? I feel like I've seen this logo. Maybe I have seen this before. Death metal from Brazil. Hard to say, but I'll check it out. Seems interesting.
pretty solid album.
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Okay.
The
Yeah,
bass,
that's
the
a
bass,
wreck.
bass walks all over this fucker.
Yeah, more fucking South American death metal for me here. Sorry, I was actually giving it a listen for a second through my fucking phone.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear what it sounded like.
Dan, have you seen the band pick for Atomica?
Atomica, on Metal Archives.
Yeah, tell me what the guy in the middle reminds you of.
Okay. The Brazilian Atomica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I forget how to spell Atomica. Is that with two T's?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
It's metal.
Atomic. The guy in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Who does he look like?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Really?
Who the fuck would that look like?
He looks like fucking Vince Vaughn, Cell Block 99 with the wig.
I guess he does. He looks like the dummy that got shot in Cell Block 99.
He looks like if he were lying down, he could be a hefty broad.
A hefty broad. I like that term, hefty broad. It's like Christian made me think of that.
Not quite an
Atomica was a
insult,
cool
but
band, though.
Yeah, Atomica's Death Razor was cool as hell. And the chainsaw, that was cool too. Nelson showed me the chainsaw. Dude, the chainsaw.
Disturbing the Noise was a great album.
Yeah, that one was dope. That one was dope, yo.
I remember not being fond of the second album because I had a different vocalist for that one, and he kind of went like a bit like weird. As
He went a bit
opposed to, like,
wacky.
yeah, I don't know how to describe it because I don't really remember very well. I just remember not liking the vocalist.
Have you heard the fucking the second Holocausto album? I think it's
Is
the
that-
second one. It's the one where they sound like fucking Voivod.
Yeah, it's like the what's it called?
A weird fucking direction.
No, was it like Stagnant Minds or something? What the hell's it called?
Something
Negatives?
like that. I don't even remember what it was called. It was like
No,
one of
Negatives
their
is
albums.
after.
oh no,
I think
Block
it's the album
Minds.
after. I think
Block
it's the
Minds,
album
that's it.
after fucking Campo. It just sounds like Voivod. It's kind of a weird direction. It sounds like prog rock.
I heard it ages ago, and I remember not really liking
It's
it
not.
too
It's
much,
it's not.
so.
It's not. It's listenable, and it's like It's like interesting to hear that they. It's like what are they doing? I think that's the interesting part. What are they doing?
Damn, someone left a review. It says, if you didn't like them before at a 15% rating, then you might like them even less now.
Mm.
Yes, it's still metal, but comes across as metal without major direction or purpose at the end, like riding through a tunnel where the scenery is barren, and the worst that happens is your hair unintentionally gets blown out, blown around.
I just realized they put out so many albums I haven't actually listened to.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Compo is amazing. Block
Alpo's the one
Minds, I
that
remember
people care
listening
about.
to
I don't
him.
think anybody else gives a shit about anything.
But Negatives, Tozago, As They Snow, like, I never listened to that one. De Volta Al Front, never listened to that. This looks like a Helmet album.
Which one?
De Volta Al Front.
Looks like they're back at their roots with the 2019 album.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
they
was.
did that. I didn't hear that one.
They did that.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Angel's like, nah.
The artwork was on point.
Yeah, and then they went Eternal Bleeding with De Volta Al Front.
Was it Blocked Minds? No. The one I heard was Negatives. That's what I heard.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's the one that sounds like Voivod.
Gotta
Oh,
check it
that's
out. Kind of curious now. Tech,
I'm-
tech thrash,
Check-
experimental,
check-
and
Yeah, I think a lot of these bands with like classic releases. Check out some of their other stuff, even if it's bad. Just check it out, anyways.
The one that gets overlooked a lot is Sex Trash. That second album, Funeral Serenades, is fucking great. Everyone's always on about Sexual Carnage, and yeah, it's a great album, but Funeral Serenade is fucking great.
yeah, I heard this one too.
The later Holocaust, not Holocausto, but Holocaust from the new wave British heavy metal band.
Yeah, they're all
I
prog.
think they had some cool stuff that went on later, like going into the 90s, I think. Maybe even earlier than that, something like that. They had a song called they had an album called like Birds of Prey or Birds of War or some shit.
Hmm.
That and like the EP before it are really interesting. Yeah,
Kinda-
this is a lazy fuck episode. Okay, so now we have Burning Inside, right?
Yeah, that's the next one.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great song.
I think Fred picked the winner there.
Are we back?
Yeah.
That was badass.
Yeah, that was definitely the most blastiest song, and just more of the same of the just quick tempo changes that are sloppy, and then just riding that coattail of being sloppy throughout the riff after the transition, which
Yeah.
is great. And I like their little disco beats that they threw in there. It started off with the hi-hat, then they went to the crash to change it up a bit, and that outro was like really, really fucking good. I was looking at the time, like when the song was gonna stop, but then they just like crammed in like 4 more things, and they just had like the sick like little blast like AB variation that was like really, really fucking good.
Yeah, sometimes I love it when bands have 1 million riffs in their songs.
I think I prefer that.
I might, for different things at different times, but yeah, this kind of death metal is I don't know, it's bringing me back. It's opening up my heart and my mind and my
Getting that,
pantaloons and everything.
getting your decongested right there,
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
curing you.
sucking the phlegm out the window.
It's better than any lozenge.
There's phlegm flying out the window as we speak
There we go.
through the little holes in the windscreen thing.
It's just like the
Like
Romulus.
like Play-Doh.
It's like the spaceship in Romulus, where it's just like all your phlegm floating around the room.
It's like no not like that. It's like
It's
like
like
an
orbiting
alien,
his chair.
No, it's like yeah, exactly. No, well, not like that. I like that idea too, but I was gonna say
You
I
do?
was gonna
Alright.
say I was gonna say Alien. I forget which Alien it was. Maybe it was Alien Resurrection. Yeah, where they like
Ooh.
have that fucking human hybrid alien, whatever, and they like there's a little tiny hole in the spaceship like that goes into space, and his whole body gets sucked through that little hole. That's like my
Oh,
phone gets
yeah.
sucked through a little hole.
Well, even the first one, where it's just like they, break the window and everything just gets like sucked out.
No,
Yeah.
no, but there's a there's a little tiny hole, and like his body bursts, and like all his organs go. His whole body goes through a tiny fucking hole into space.
Okay.
Yeah, It's like
Hey,
that.
wait. So the first alien, the alien gets jettisoned into space. In
Yes.
Aliens, the queen gets
Queen.
jettisoned into space.
Yes.
Alien
Alien 3, I
3,
don't remember.
honestly, I don't remember how it ended.
Yeah, I don't remember shit about that
Resurrection,
movie.
it gets pulled into space through a
Resurrection.
tiny hole.
Tiny hole.
Romulus,
Romulus
it
is
gets
gay.
sent into
He.
space. Noticing a theme here.
It's the only way to get rid of them.
Mm,
Space.
the final frontier.
Yeah.
Their home and their what's it called? Hostile zone. But yeah, I think that was a really great track. Probably the most intense out of the three that we had. Seemed to ramp up with each song that we chose.
That first half has some parts that are just outright bestial. Like, it could have come off of, like, Holocausto or Sarcophago album at parts.
Yeah, definitely all the blasty shit going on.
Yeah, I think any criticisms I had at the beginning have gone out the window with my phlegm.
I
Uh,
think two things I was saying during our listening was where's the new old school death metal bands playing shit like this,
hey,
and
they can't
then
play shit like this.
yeah, it's like
Just don't happen.
good tech death thrash shit.
Yeah, dog. This is some tech shit, dog. Like for reals, dog.
Bestial tech.
Dude, it's
Bestial
pretty.
tech.
It's pretty technical and pretty fucking weird. And like, I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
even the
This is
components of
awesome.
everything, like the way it's arranged, it's like
It's
tricky.
intelligent.
Yeah, it's tricky, and then
These Chileans have brains.
but it's not like they're just playing like the normal like associated tech riffs that we think of now, and just going in between them and like weird time signatures or anything. It seems like everything's
They're
pretty.
playing mind blowing badass shit.
It's like all in the same like I don't know, playing field, but the way that they're fucking around with the meter, um, making
Fuck
things
around, baby.
slow and still having it fast with like the other instruments is like really good. And then I think the next thing that I was saying during that was like I'm so glad that they didn't do the clean guitar thing that
I
like
hate clean
every
guitars.
band did during this time.
Yeah, clean guitars suck.
Yeah, well, they're just like slow down. They have a little clean guitar section, but instead they just threw a little tiny dive bomb, and then they did. Then they had two solos that were great. You know,
The solos are so crazy sounding. It almost sounds like somebody talking.
It sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher.
the kid from
No, that's more like.
fucking the kid from the Wild Thornberries. But yeah,
An apple? Can you say apple?
I think the scarlet fever has gripped Dan.
Party favor, anyone?
Dan sounds like he's out the window.
Are y'all ready for
With his
Superman?
phlegm.
No, I'm in my chair. I have Home Improvement on silent.
Dan's just a gelatinous phlegm blob now.
Was there ever anything else?
He's like the didn't we have the mucus fucking thing from Mucinex as a thumbnail?
No, we didn't.
That's a good one.
The horrible Mucinex man.
Yeah, do it. Appropriate.
For our sick episodes. We'll put
Mhm.
'em-
Yeah, for the sick episodes.
we'll hide
Yeah,
them.
just put it somewhere on there so
We'll
people
hide
know.
them. We'll hide them like the snail in Adventure Time.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll
Yeah.
know before they click. One of us is sick as fuck and sounds like ass.
Why didn't we think about this earlier?
Yeah. Just go back and change all the thumbnails.
Oh.
That's basically all of them for like the first 50 episodes where I was just sick forever.
Oh. I know. Then I had that like stomach problem, which may or may not have been due to a hernia.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
I don't remember if I've been sick during the recording. Must have been.
Didn't y'all
My
have
second
herniated
time being
balls?
like this kind of sitting.
Yeah.
Y'all had herniated balls for a while. That's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
fun.
I think I have a hernia in my belly button.
It's popping out.
A little bit.
little guts.
I might have to get that taken care of. Maybe 5 more years.
Doctor just pushes it back in.
Yeah.
uh,
Love it.
but
Very
yeah,
good, yeah. It never fucking ends, does it?
No, it doesn't get any better as you get older either.
Oh, yeah.
Take it from me, Sonny.
Wait, that was pretty good. Every time Fred does voices that aren't his own, it really it opens my eyes and like my heart pops out of my freaking rib cage.
Wow,
another
it's
alien reference.
it's quite the effect.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or in Spaceballs when the thing comes out, he goes, "Oh no, not again."
Space bowels. Quick side note: today on Instagram,
Yes.
my post was Maniac Butcher,
and
and
I
you can
finally got
never
around to
have
it.
you can never have enough Maniac Butcher. Like, just what a great fucking band. Everything about them. I love that the album called Epitaph, the final onslaught of Maniac Butcher, is actually their second last album. Fills my heart with joy.
What I do like about what you pick, Fred, is I have all these. I have a guess of what you're gonna be doing just based off what you post or like what you talk about with us, and then it's just like some shit like this that we never heard of.
No, it's pretty fucking cool.
No, it's cool.
You look at my post, you're like, it's gonna go in that direction, and then just fucking lullaby, let's go.
Yeah, I'm like when I'm like, okay, Fred likes these guys. When's the Maniac Butcher episode? When's the North episode? When's the Thromdar episode? But it's like you just pull these other albums that I never heard of.
That's how I roll.
Pretty good, pretty good. He's doing good.
Do you own this one?
Yeah, I've got two Sadism CDs. This one is Tribulated Bells with their 93 EP Dark Side added on. And this is the demo comp with Perdition of Souls and From the Perpetual Dark, 89 and 91, I think, those demos.
Have you posted that before?
I don't think I've posted Sadism on my page before, no.
Dang, another Fred Gatekeeping album.
Paul, are you ripping that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Here, I'll pass it. Oh, wait, you're sick.
Oh, sorry, you just got sick because you passed it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
But yeah, let's get in some final thoughts.
Okay.
Alright, yeah.
Well, all right then.
Paul, go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fred, listening to this with you guys, it definitely turned my opinion around because
Because you were wrong.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what what Dan said, it kind of like drops the like tech kind of thrash thing that they were doing and go in a more like death metal direction. And
Big cock death metal.
I think we were saying that it was like more meat and potatoes, but the more we were listening to it, it's like, damn, these guys are like going for it and like very ambitious with what they were doing, especially in like '92,
Yeah.
coming out with this like mix of shit. It's just like whatever's in the water in South America, and then their influences come out to something like this.
Yeah.
Not quite as sloppy as Brazil, and not quite as like tight and technical as like Canada or something, but it definitely has that the metal spirit in it, and going for something that's out of their reach but sticking the landing pretty much the whole time. Like there's times where it gets a little sloppy and you are trying to figure out what they're doing, but then they come out of it with like another weird transition and like a, a riff and drum pattern that kind of fucks with like how you're listening to it. It's like both um, fast and slow at the same time. It's pretty interesting stuff, and I would like to hear just like newer bands play something like this at all.
I would like to hear anything that sounds like this right now.
Yeah, I need
Like,
to check out a lot of those um, bands with classic albums from South America. They're uh, sequel albums and stuff, and just see how those are
how they
hold up to
fare.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good pick, Fred. And like I said, you're always coming out with something I never heard or expect you to pick, and it ends up being quite good. So this is a good
Fred's
pick.
coming out. He wants the world to know. He's gonna let it show.
It's like on the same level as like suffocation or something.
Almost.
Oh,
A little bit
suffocation.
different.
That was great.
Yeah, it's like yeah, like the ones that he like that come to mind is like that and Black Shepherd, but they're all completely different sounds, but they have like this sort of ferocity to them that's un uh, what's it called?
Unhinged.
No.
Unbelievable.
There you go. Yeah, Dango.
Dude, Fred, these guys have a bunch of albums, right? You've heard the other shit?
I've heard some here and there. I've heard the latest one that came out a year or two ago, and that was actually pretty solid. And I've heard up to like late '90s, but not too far after that.
I don't know why I have a feeling these guys probably didn't top themselves after this album.
The later stuff doesn't have the uh, weird, sloppy charm that this one does. Like
Yeah.
it's still solid, but
Does it have like the crazy changes and things?
from memory, no. And the latest one definitely doesn't.
How,
It's
how come
much
how come
more
bands
like
how come bands never fucking continue on and like get crazier? They always like lighten up.
I
I hate
really
that.
think that these weird tempo changes are a competence thing. Like I don't think they're intentional. I think they were trying to uh, do a transition and they weren't quite where they needed to be from a playing their instruments perspective, but they just made it work. And that's kind of because those moments give you that wait, what the hell's going on for like a little split second. That in itself makes me think of Demilich just because Demilich had those intentional riffs where you're like, what the fuck is going on? But Tribulated Bells has these passage changes and tempo changes where things kind of just go sideways for a split second. And you're like, wait, what the fuck's going on? And it actually makes me think of Demilich for that reason, just because it's like kind of it's a little jarring, and you're like, what the fuck was that?
Well, after listening to these songs again with you guys, I I think these boys have taken the American death metal sound and sort of amped it up or like ramped it up by I don't know, like three or four times speed and technicality, and like just ideas wise, there's much more packed in here than you get from some of the biggest names that we've talked about in this episode, and even some of the more unknown names like Maimed or some shit like that. Um, but yeah, I think it's super fucking cool. I like how just crazy it is and how fucking sort of technical it is. I think it's super fucking dope.
Freddie.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of most of what I had to say kind of just got summed up anyways. Like it's,
Yeah.
I still don't think it's a particularly unique album as a whole.
I kind of do now.
Come on, Fred, don't say that.
Well, I mean, maybe
Fred,
after,
don't say that.
look, maybe after hearing what you guys say about it, when I go back and listen to it and be like, oh yeah, I guess this is,
Now we were right.
yeah, maybe.
Fred, we are
It's happened
correct.
before. But like, I've always kind of just viewed it as just death metal with this kind of thrashy, sloppy component to it that just isn't supposed to be particularly out of the ordinary for this sort of thing, but just
Biggest that sloppy component.
yeah. But just turned out really well, and that's kind of how that's still kind of how I see it. Um, those moments that make you go, "What the fuck?" are my favorite parts on this. But like those chugging kind of thrashy riffs on tracks like Days of Tribulation are fucking great. I just love this thing. It's like I said, when I make lists of my favorite death metal albums, if it's not in the top 10, it's usually like hovering around close to it. So it's one that I feel deserves more attention just because of how
Definitely. Definitely.
just how solid it is front to back. Like it's a fantastic album.
Hell to the fuck yeah.
Shit, yeah. That's all I got.
Shit, yes, Fred word.
All right, we are out.
Bye. Fags.
Wake up with the sun on my back, no makeup. Looking good, we relax. Lit up, light coming through the cracks. Looking like an angel, wearing all black. Living in a fantasy. Every minute becoming so clear to see. We breathe love when it's you and me. Wrapped up in